No, this dude's just gonna air out everything about me. On
man. Hey, listen, musicians, producers, mix engineers can have love lives too. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but I need mine to be very private because I'm very famous and jacked. So I need to keep that very private. But
it was really cute today. So Jackson calls me and he goes, "Ife, you're not gonna believe this." I'm like, "What?" I benched 225.
Let's correct this story a little bit. Ife called me right after I finished. You called me.
Well, I called you for something else.
that definitely changes the vibe of what you just explained.
No,
I was like, dude, guess
energy. You call somebody, but it felt like you called me because of your.
Yeah, because I just was the one talking.
I thought you called him because I heard you on the phone. Like, damn, you really just called him to say that.
No, the first
see,
he calls me, I answer, and I'm like, dude, guess what? I just did 225 for 7, and I was like, oh shoot, this guy's about to squat 9 plates over here. This dude had 9, and it looked easy.
Yeah, he did make it look easy.
Let me do the math real quick. 18 times 45. What do you think that number could possibly be?
Are you sure it was 9 plates?
I counted, dude. The entire bar was filled up. He even had
probably bending.
It was like bird wings flapping.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh my gosh, 18 times.
What's the practical use of that kind of strength?
855.
Show everybody in the gym who's the boss.
There's nothing practical about that.
No, that's like scary because
your legs are probably so big you probably can't even stand at attention. Like you probably have to stand like shoulder width apart.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
And it's just bad for your health to be heavy.
It seemed bad.
Nah,
His
man.
face.
Oh, it was scary.
He was about to
My
explode.
ideal physical, whatever, and I'm far from it, is like a professional soccer player.
That's
physique.
how I think too.
Yeah,
Who
I want to
got
be an
Messi?
NFL player size. I feel like I look like a retired.
I mean, like quarterback,
linebacker.
cornerbacks and
Without the arms.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's not like they're not like
I think
bodybuilders. It's when you get to like the like running backs. They're all like.
I feel like quarterbacks end up looking worse than kickers. Like when they retire, because kickers feel like they got something to prove. Quarterbacks, they always look like
They don't give a shit. They're like, I just throw the ball,
They
man.
already made it.
So I'm enjoying our conversation, and this is really cool. For those of you guys who are checking us out, I just met James for the first time, and I feel like I've known you for a long time because I feel like you guys have the same spirit. So I feel like it's really vibing right now. I like it.
I feel the same way.
Dope.
Doesn't even matter. Like we just met.
Yep, like 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. But why are you here? Why of all?
Who are you?
His friends and my friends.
Are you gonna waste our time?
You're the first. Like really good friend of one of us. That's because you guys are childhood friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been on here.
Yeah.
And you also happen to be extremely talented music producer,
Thank you.
right? I mean, I know you guys, go off on each other all the time, whatever about stuff, but he's constantly talking about how amazing you are.
Hey.
And I respect his taste and his opinions, so yeah, I rock with it. So, but then he tells me something about you, and he goes, "Man, he's not like us.
Oh, yep.
Like he doesn't believe that it is possible to make a career out in the new space of the music industry that we're in."
Ooh, nice. That was
Right?
a new space.
I know. Thank you. I'm here all weekend.
And the word believe is crucial in that because you obviously think it's possible,
Right.
right? But believe, if I'm standing right here and I believe a train is coming, I move out of the way. You see what I'm saying? So if you really believed it, it would
Be
affect your
working
actions.
towards
It would
it,
cause you to stumble into it. But something like recently you told me, it was what you told me recently. I'm just in the space of just doing it for fun
Right
now.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's what I wanted you specifically to talk about too, because I know you have fun.
I have fun. I
Yeah.
do.
Right.
I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun.
What I was saying was like my thought process has been like turning music into a career. I don't know. I never saw myself. I saw myself making money. Like I always wanted to make money from making music. But I guess that transition to turn it into a career, I didn't really think about the steps that it would entail. And it was just kind of overwhelming. I was like, shit, I just want to.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. Like it's like the most piddling work at first of just like beating at a turkey with like trying to make a chicken breast tender by going like this.
And I feel like it's
trying to cut up a turkey with a butter knife.
I mean, I would get through it pretty easily.
Oh my god.
And I feel like it's different because for at least as a producer, I feel like there's, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot more producers than there are engineers.
That's the
capitalize
case.
off of
but
it.
A producer's more likely to become an engineer than an artist is more likely to become an engineer.
Would
you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
What about? I thought you were going to say, is a producer. What was the other one? So we have producers. We have engineers. Is a producer more likely to become an engineer, or an engineer more likely to become a producer?
I feel like it's just vice.
I feel like it's producer most of the time, right? Because usually
you get into
you start right. Because the only reason I engineer is because I like the creation of music. Yeah. So I started out by creating music, and I didn't know at the time that it had to be engineered.
Yeah.
I just recorded, and I was like, why does it sound terrible? Why? I thought this is, and I was like, maybe they buy all this stuff for a reason, or maybe they go to school for a reason.
I went through that, trust me.
Well, I had no idea about mixing till we started making music. So like 15, I just thought there's a universal like song was just
everything just sits in place.
Yeah, there wasn't like individual engineers on each song you're hearing.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like a set thing. And then when I found out, I was like, oh my gosh, like it changes your perspective on everything.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm really grateful that I didn't, like, I really wasn't exposed coming up to like presets, and like there really wasn't like all that AI processing that can like mix your track instantly. There wasn't BandLab, right? So I was like thrown into a place where I needed to learn it.
Right.
Now with everyone being handed like these dinky little shovels, which we talked about yesterday, to go mine gold with.
You mean like the AI stuff?
Well, specifically like BandLab, right? Because you can get
What's
a pretty
BandLab?
It's like a DAW that's online. Like you Google BandLab, and it's like on a browser,
like a browser-based DAW.
Huh. Yeah, and they have it's actually a really cool idea. So they've got their own library of music. You can sell your preset on there. So a lot of artists will get sponsored by BandLab, or they'll
preset like a vocal preset.
Yeah. It's all in their cloud, so you can sell access to your setup, and you market that by marketing your music. It's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea,
but you're stuck at a certain level, and then especially if you start dealing with them as a company, you're really gonna be stuck. We should make a song in BandLab one time.
That would be
try and mix it. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Making it number one.
Yeah, I'm just glad we came up in a time like we like barely missed that, where there wasn't any quick instant fix.
But you know what? I'm hearing you talk, and I'm a little older than you, and I've heard people that are older than me say what you're saying. You know what I mean? And now you got, producers and people called engineers that like, half your age.
Yeah.
That look at you like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
Like when I see people talk about consoles, oh my God, like the tactile controls and the faders and whatever. I've even heard people talk about some of the first consoles. Instead of pushing the faders up, you pull the faders down. In essence, you're pulling the sound closer to you and pushing the sound further away. So it goes back further and further and further, and how crazy it gets.
Yeah,
right?
I can
like
see
a
that
rabbit hole. Music, you just never when you learn something new, and then it's like there's always another. You open a door, and then there's like 10 doors behind that door.
Speaking of which, and this might like tie in with how you feel about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Especially now. There's this, I can't remember the name of it. There's an engineer, very popular engineer. He's created a platform where very soon people are going to be able to put in their multi-tracks into this thing and just sit back.
And it'll just be mixed.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it looks like you're about
terrible.
to cry.
I'm close to it.
Yeah. I mean,
That'll never replace an actual human being.
listen,
though.
But hopefully,
that's what they said about pianos and guitars and all those things. That's like, look, I happen to have a piano, but most people don't.
They
no,
just
this is
drag from
actually
slice.
this is actually
No,
great news. This is actually amazing news.
What?
If AI does get involved in the mixing scene, hopefully what it's going to do is wash out the people who don't have firm foundations in engineering.
Why? How?
Because to get a certain level, eventually AI will be really scarily good. But
Yeah.
so far, they're like good engineers are so much better. It's
Right.
untouchable, right? But it's going to create the divide between the baseline and who's like it's
I
going
agree
to
with you.
cut out because everyone claims they'll mix a song and then all of a
Right.
sudden $10 for a mix, $15
It's
for a
not
mix.
even that. People just gonna mix their own songs, and it's still gonna sound like crap. You know why? Because what people like you and me will end up doing is, okay, fine, we'll start the process off with the AI tool,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
and then take over from there.
Well, that's what I do
I-
a lot with that AI mastering in Logic.
yeah,
I love to take suggestions from the tone suggestion and the width suggestion. That's it.
Right,
imagine-
you can utilize
because
the
you have a-
AI.
Yeah.
you have a Fusion and you have the SSL bus, right?
Yeah.
The Fusion has EQ, it has saturation, it has all kinds of cool stuff in it. Imagine you run it through AI and then you run it through some analog.
That's the thing about the AI website you're talking about, where it's not going to be running stuff through hardware.
No,
gonna
it's
be-
impossible.
Wait,
and also,
they
no,
did
you
make.
wait.
They actually made that.
Oh, I saw you. sent me
Aria
that
mastering,
video, the
literally
mastering,
robot
yeah.
arms.
Yeah,
$100
but how many of those are going to make?
Right.
They're going to create a data center of them over an acre with a bunch of robots, like
We
a
are.
Tesla factory. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
No,
well,
the
yeah,
market's not.
yeah,
That's the thing is
yeah.
the market's not that big.
It's not. It's
Well-
how many things can that thing mix a day?
True.
You know what I mean?
But also, I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
say, like, the environment you're in
Mhm.
when you're mixing as a human being is going to totally change the way you're going to mix.
Yeah.
So a robot doing it, yeah, it's going to be all precise. I mean, as precise as it can. I don't know how it works. I have no idea
what
how
it's gonna
AI
do,
works,
the
but-
future of it's gonna be the environment you want it to like sound like. The character is gonna be something you input. It's gonna be like you
it's like
insert
when you
references.
Yeah.
like when you're creating
What's
the
cool about that
images.
T-Rax 6 plugin? There's
Mhm.
a plugin in there called Master Match, and you upload a
The bundle
reference.
that you have,
Yeah, you
you still need to
upload.
give me a cereal.
Yeah, you upload the I don't even know what I'm saying.
It's all right, man.
You upload. You just put a song in there, and it
References it.
and just gives you a suggestion
The EQ profile
going
for
that
that
towards
song?
that direction. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gosh.
Ozone does that already.
I actually haven't used it. Though. I just see it in there, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to use that. What's next?
You know what I like about the AI tools that they're doing is that it can go in and critically listen for resonances, especially after you put your reverbs and stuff like that. And people don't realize how cloudy their mixes are getting with
I know
really bad, tail suggestions. I mean, tail settings.
Yeah.
It's at 5 seconds, and all you need is like 2.3. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
it can go in and make those kind of tweaks and make it nice and open.
Right.
That's great. I
It's-
think that's really good.
right, like a tool you use. A tool you use after.
Yeah.
Like you hit your final mix and then you can throw it in there. just
Yeah,
clean
or
up
if you've got
little
like ear
things.
fatigue. I mean, there's so many times where the mix sounded full and good to me. Then I throw on like Apple's mastering and I hear it in a completely different perspective. It might be too extreme, but then I take that in from like seeing. It's okay. Like I could go listen to a different song, but it wouldn't be the same as like
Mm.
actually hearing the song I'm working on in a different way, which is nice.
Two things. Number one, there's a tool that I use from Hornet. There's a plugin called Hornet VU meters.
Yeah.
It's like $12, right? It has an auto gain feature in it, right? So especially when I have big sessions, what I'll do, guys, this is huge secret I'm letting out right now, whatever, but
Valid.
I'll set it to -10 peak and -24 RMS on each channel, and I'll put it on each track. No plugins, nothing. And I'll run the entire song. It'll automatically go in there and gain stage everything for me. So that by the time it's done, I'll render it that way. Then when I start using EQs and compressors, it's at the right level.
So that's the very first thing you do.
First thing I do.
Okay.
Right? So by the time I start compressing, it's in a sweet spot. It's not slamming. Yeah. It's not doing anything too light. It's in the sweet spot for all those compressors that we like and things like that. And the EQ actually responds better, when you have that kind of thing going.
Yeah.
Now, if that goes into an AI tool and it can go in there, listen to each track, get the gain stage right for you, right?
Yeah.
Remove all pops and clicks. If it needs, like an RX type of tool to remove room or whatever, that type of thing, it can go ahead and do that.
It'd be crazy.
That'd be nasty.
Yeah, like if you present AI with like a beautiful product and it's referencing, right? Because if you take like a crappy mix, crappy recording, just like a really sloppy song, and you've got like AI mastering to work on it, it's going to master it in a way that like a good record would be mastered. And it's gonna make it sound even worse because it's gonna bring out the whole thing sounds bad.
I feel like analog gear is gonna become more sought after.
Probably. I mean, for sure. I want analog gear.
I don't know, dude.
I think so.
I used to not want it.
I think plugins are getting so good.
I think
plugins,
and I think the clinical, like digital sound is becoming more and more and more popular.
I feel like you're right about that.
Yeah, it's becoming more popular, but what happened whenever you listen to like a Daft Punk album, whenever you listen to a like even a Beyonce album, or you listen to a Taylor Swift album, or you listen to a lot of country, to be honest with you,
I think okay, you are right.
Wait, I want to hear his
further
point.
into the future. Continue.
When you hear some of these records that are not like hip hop or pop or whatever, and then they have this character that's like, man, that just sounds so
like original.
Yeah. It feels like
sounds so yeet. Pactois.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah.
They're gonna think that this episode
no,
was filmed
I get
like
what you're
5
saying,
years
but
ago.
it's like we're like in the near future, we're going to continue digital, and it's going to continue getting even bigger and bigger and bigger. But eventually, we will circle back around. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Digital will ever be as good as hardware.
But it's about the time of the people's interest.
Do you know the reason why digital is not going to be as good as hardware? Let me tell you why.
Why?
All right. I have a really good friend that works at Texas Instruments. They make CPU, like chips or whatever, he's telling me that we're at peak capacity when it comes to like chips, because now we're getting down to about 3 nanometers.
Like they're just making them so tiny.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's incredible.
I'm going somewhere with this.
The chip is tiny, or the thing that I don't know.
The platform that it's on, like the CPU, what the CPU is built out of,
like
is 3
Intel,
nanometers. Because the
Apple,
smaller that it is, you can put more stuff. I don't know. I'm not
bigger cameras on your phone, or
yeah, I'm not a computer engineer. But long story short, the reason why we're able to get more processing power out of our computers is because we're dropping down in nanometers. Like it's a few years ago, it was like 7 or 8 nanometers.
So it's
my God.
We're cramming more things into a smaller space.
Yes.
Right.
And because we can cram more things in a smaller space, whenever they go back to the size of what they used to be, it's like having 10 computers.
Like
that's the reason
why
iPhones are now
perfect. So. Let's do it.
No, we're doing it. But what I'm saying is that at some point you can't go down any further. Right. And at some point you can't go any bigger. Like the M2 or the M3 Ultras or whatever that's coming, it's really two M2s put together, 2 M2 Maxes put together to make an Ultra, right? And so on and so forth. Anyway, where I'm going with this, because we're getting to the point of like maximum, as far as this technology platform is concerned, what DSPs are doing, digital signal processors, are able to do is going to be capped eventually. Now, everything that DSP does, it's sampling what analog is doing, right? And trying to recreate it accurately. We're sampling millions of sound bites per second. We're in the millions. If you calculate what analog is doing, it's in the billions and trillions per second, because we're talking about electricity. Analog is electricity, it's voltage, right?
That was something.
Just zeros and ones.
It's zeros and ones trying to
imitate,
copy,
right?
What's going on in the analog domain, but it can only capture at like millions of whatever the measure is. So are they going to ever be able to get to those billions? I don't think so. Unless this technology changes.
They have like a new like supercomputer I saw. It was, oh man, I wish I could.
We're talking about the people that are going to be able to buy this mug, put it in their studio.
Computers look like chandeliers.
Yes. What is it called? The ultra computer.
Quantum.
Yeah.
Quantum mechanical physical.
No, the quantum
power of two.
Yeah, that thing's crazy.
I've got like this question.
I don't understand it, but I know it's.
This question might make me unqualified to be an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
It's going to sound really stupid.
Here we go. So, you already sound stupid. Go ahead.
So I run my mix through my Fusion and my bus compressor, right? And then it's time to render the mix. And then I mute my speakers and I'm rendering the mix. And I'm watching the SSL Fusion, like the meters bounce and stuff. And I'm like, if it's physically doing it to the signal and I can't hear it, it sounds, I'm like realizing now that it's just like my speakers is just playing a reflection of what's happening between the two.
Yeah.
But it's just like the fact that I'm not hearing it, but something's physically happening to the audio. My brain couldn't understand how does it do it? How does it hear the audio?
You know what?
That's what's crazy.
It's all electrical signals.
Listen.
Bro, then you can just make my next piece of hardware.
They have kits for that. Like you just buy it. Yeah.
Yo,
that's why I get my stuff from Taiwan.
Temu?
Yeah.
He shops on Temu. He bought all this bass fishing gear off Temu.
I did do that.
Didn't catch nothing.
Nope.
Man, but it's crazy to me how speakers work, and it's like
it is amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh, I don't even want to.
And the people that figured it out,
that's
what were they smoking?
Right.
Like
you got
this little tiny thing. It's vibrating so fast that's able to replicate my voice, that even a baby can tell that this vibration is my dad's voice or my mom's voice.
Microphones.
Well, it's just like when they figured out how to, get the records
on vinyl.
That's even weirder, dude. How does the needle like running through those grooves?
It makes sense because it just they literally record it into the vinyl. Like they
etch it. Basically.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the word.
By playing like the vibration of the sound,
right?
Is what makes the etch.
And then like on the old school ones, it would literally just put it through a giant amplifier, like a giant tube, so you could hear it. Like the old school ones that have like the
that's
big
what I'm saying.
tube.
The people that discovered that are
crazy.
I mean.
I talked to this engineer for a little bit who does all the scoring and like production for Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh Lord, that's got to be a nice little gig.
They pay him $10,000 a song.
What? What songs are they writing for Chuck E. Cheese?
It's probably like a complete buyout.
Yeah, contract situation.
Yeah.
But I was listening to the songs. Like, I mean, they're gonna need top quality.
Yeah,
but. He records everything through mics he builds. He doesn't use.
Oh, that's sick.
He says Brandon mics. He doesn't have enough control over. I don't even know, dude. But I was just like,
that's like Boston.
Whatever.
Boston.
Yeah, the band Boston.
Yeah.
Classic rock. Apparently, that first album they recorded, the guy I don't remember his name. Sorry, but he like built in his. I think he worked for like. Something like Texas Instruments. It wasn't Texas Instruments, but it was some kind of engineering.
Engineering.
And he would create his own. I guess they were pre-comps, and he had like 10 of them. He just run his guitar through, and he wrote the whole album on his guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and then he sent it to a label, and they had to come get him. And he
Oh
was like,
yeah.
I told you about
Yeah.
this. He was like, if we can't record it the way I want to record it, like they wanted to go into a studio, they wanted to put a band behind him. He's like, I want to record it all in my basement.
Through
Mhm.
my component, my
Yeah,
contraptions.
exactly. So they let him just record all his guitar, and then they had a band. They literally built the band for him, and then record the rest in the studio. Wrote all the
Now I gotta
lyrics
go
and stuff.
listen to Boston.
Yeah.
That's actually really
Wait, no, that's Eric Clapton.
I love those guys. They're usually like classic rock guys that they've got those just crazy setups with so many different things.
Yeah.
They like run guitar. Let me just hook it up this
like
way,
that
this
guy
way, this way,
Mike
this way.
Beato, or what's
Yeah,
his name?
Uh,
Ricky Beato or something.
yeah, that
Rick
guy.
Beato?
Yeah,
And,
Rick Beato. Yeah.
Yeah.
Warren Hewart, is that his name?
Hewitt, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds you of that type of
Warren
people
Hewitt.
where they really experiment with like, it's just really cool.
That's
Like
the fun part about music for me, the experimentation. I've been listening to a lot of jazz.
it's hard
Jeff
to
can
do.
attest to that.
That's the part we miss out on. Is it's hard to do that when you're just staring at a screen.
Yeah.
Versus if you've got like stacks of cabinets and amps and
And you're in a setting like this.
Just all
I
these-
feel like I could make a song in here.
like
Like
these different
easily.
things you
Hey,
could
you welcome
combine.
anytime. Let's make some
Alright.
music.
Yeah, that would actually be fun.
We should.
I was telling him I want to make like a Christian rap album
That'd be
with
awesome.
like really intricate production,
You got to get
with
a
really
saxophone,
intricate
bro.
lyrics.
I've been telling you, get another saxophone. He's got his trumpet with the muted trumpet
You play trumpet?
and the drums.
Oh.
I
You play
can-
trumpet?
I have a trumpet. I mean, I can play.
You have one?
Yeah,
You play it?
I'm not like crazy good.
Well, you can play it.
I can play it if I practice. Yeah.
That's
Can you
dope.
play jazz
I want a
piano?
trumpet.
I'm really into jazz right now. I really want to learn how to make.
Yeah,
jazz
I mean, I know a
music.
couple pieces. I know a couple tunes.
Sick.
I
You
can
know
read-
Charles Mingus.
Yeah.
That's who we were listening to on their way up here.
Yeah, I mean, I can read a fake book and chord charts, stuff like that. And,
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me that video of you playing the piano yesterday.
Nah,
It's like,
man.
now you're trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. It's the left hand for me. I can't. It's so weird.
I just want to learn like chords in and out and like the music theory behind it.
like
Just
Jacob
the basic
Collier
of that, and then I'm
chords.
on to the next instrument.
You know what? Like, if you want to, and if you're serious,
I practice every day.
whenever
I suck.
you get here, before we start recording anything or whatever, we'll just do like 10, 15 minutes on
Piano
theory.
lessons.
Yeah, that'd
See, I
be
can
awesome.
do like I can climb up the C major scale and go back
Mhm.
down.
That-
I can do all the major scales. I can't do the
So
minor scales.
I grew up playing in church. That's why I really like worked, got my chops. But then I was very limited. I could only play in like C major, C sharp major, F, G major.
Like you hit
and that
that
was kind of
plateau
it.
and you're like, how do I get
And then I
better?
started a band
Oh, okay.
called Alias Brown. And we wrote all kinds of songs. We covered all kinds of songs. And we wrote like intricate arrangements and stuff like that. Our bass player, his name is Nigel Rivers, went to UNT, like nasty bass
Oh.
player.
I want to meet him.
Guitar player, Jeff, nasty guitar player. And so not that one. This was really, really cool guy, Jewish guy. You don't look Jewish. But anyway, so I had to learn the songs
right.
in whatever
Keep
key
up
they
with
were
them.
in.
Oh yeah,
And
they'd be
in
changing the
2
keys.
years, I could play in any key
that's crazy.
comfortably.
I mean, it's pretty easy once you learn the basics of music theory. It's like you're like.
I think the
okay.
most important thing, hey, camera, over here. Listen, if you're a musician, especially keyboard players, and you want to learn how to play in every key comfortably, go out and play. Go out and play. Join a band. Even if they don't pay you that much or whatever, go out and play with them. Learn all their songs. Don't transpose. That shock value of like you have to make it work in front of an audience and you have to play the song, I promise you, you will learn how to play in every key.
Dang, that's what we should have been doing, man.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we've
Wait,
wasted
time
so
out.
much time.
Do you play bass?
No,
Can you play bass?
I've tried to get him to play bass, to buy a bass so many times.
Can
I can
you
play a little bit of bass.
play more guitar?
I'd rather play the bass.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay, bass player, guitar player, drummer, keys.
There we go.
shoot, all right.
We could just like
easy, just jam.
so yeah, just
That's
not like we'll go somewhere like, hey, coffee shop or whatever. We'll do like a 45-minute set
crazy.
on a Friday night or
that'd be
something.
fun.
Yeah.
If I know the key, I can play the bass.
Can we do like chill music? Like
anything we
like
want to
really
do.
chill, like
No, I'm thinking like
Anything we want to do.
Something like that. No, but you were saying covering music. I've always wanted, like, I'll hear a song and I'm like, I want to go home and just remake the song. Because I feel like that's such a good way to learn something new. Because I'll be sitting, I'm like, how did they come up with that? Like, if I do it myself, remaking the song, I'll be like, oh. And then when you're making your own music, it's like when you learn a new guitar riff.
Yeah.
You can put that into your own music.
Right.
And that's what
absolutely.
every musician has done.
that's why I really want to. I want you to like sit me down and show me all those songs you're doing for BBYMO. Because specifically, I'm curious how like you have hip hop completely harnessed because of your keys abilities, and hip hop is so like it's just that's something that sounds so fun to me to be able to like. I don't know. It's just I think he sounds good. Obviously, your beats are crazy. So I was like, and just the keys thing is so mesmerizing because of how it translates.
What's your favorite key to write hip hop music in? Hip hop
C
beats?
minor.
C minor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because most beats out there already are in that key.
Right.
Artists will hear it. They'll kind of like, oh yeah, this sounds familiar.
That's
They'll
funny.
lock in with that.
I follow a guy on Instagram. His name is Bricks Made or something. He's just a producer.
Or A minor too.
He was like, just play the C minor. It's like C, D sharp, and then the two E and F, I guess.
Yeah.
You just play those like that.
Yeah, C, D, D sharp, F. Yeah.
Yeah. But then what's so cool is like just going through different sounds, and like I'd imagine you have like the ultimate sound library.
Yeah.
That's
So
fun,
It's so
dude.
fun.
Like
You
because
have
they
Omnisphere?
could
I do.
He should get
vastly
Omnisphere, right?
change. I don't got the store.
Get Sky
but
Keys, bro.
I got Sky Keys. I tried to show him. He's been hating on it.
You don't like Sky
I
Keys?
never
He's been
hated
hating on
on
it.
Sky Keys. I was like, it seems like you don't get a lot.
You don't
And
get a
and
lot.
I
It's
already have
$25.
I have Omnisphere, which my library is 64 gigabytes.
It is.
I've gone
It is,
through.
but
a
bro,
quarter of
let
the
me tell you
sounds.
something. Let me tell you something. If you know how to use the engine inside Sky Keys,
Yeah,
you can make it like 10
Insane.
times more.
really.
Yeah.
Well, I like the engine in Omnisphere. I mean, they have so many.
Yeah,
options.
it's OP. Like I want to get
Right.
It's like I'm over here trying to sound design. I ain't got time for that.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I'll get into
a lot
it
of
and I'm like,
times. Do you know why I have so many chairs in the studio? Well, not this many. It's because usually I cook up with the artist in the room.
Yeah,
I
you're
make
trying
the
to
beat
get it
while they're
done.
there. I don't have
That's
time
true.
for Omnisphere's
Very
like
true.
process.
That's something when
Amen.
you're just on your own messing around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or if you're really like, it's really good for scoring because they got all those.
it's exactly what I'm about to say.
sounds.
Yeah.
Crazy sounds.
Now scoring, that's a solo project. Like
Yeah.
that's a very lonely.
Yeah, sitting with some tea.
Yeah.
So why don't you? Why did you say you're not interested in doing
scoring?
What is the word for it?
Composing?
Sync.
For doing sync?
Sync?
Yeah.
No, I am interested in doing sync.
I thought you said you were done.
No, I'm not done.
Oh.
It's just that, and it goes back to one of the reason why you're here is because like talking about being successful as a producer, it's a lot of work because trying to client acquisition, client retaining your clients, keeping them happy, revisions and all that stuff, and then you have to create a library for sync that most realistic sync producers will tell you, man, you gotta spend 6 months to a year making like 100
You gotta have,
songs,
like, a
and then you gotta
portfolio.
wait another year before one of them gets placed, and then that year you making more records, so that by the time you're earning something substantial every month, you're a couple years in with like your 200-300 songs in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time and effort.
And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot
I'm
of
married with 2 kids. I got kids. I don't have the time,
Yeah.
Right.
to do it that way.
Yeah.
and a lot of companies will just send it out to an advertising agency that already has,
A library of
Everything,
like
yeah.
stuff.
or they can just make it on the spot, quick and easy. I was telling Jeff actually when we were coming up here, my dad used to work for. It's called Loomis.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Mhm.
I think I told you told me he had heard of it. Yeah, he used to work for there. He's like graphic design.
Mhm.
But they let me tour like the studio. It was insane. They had like 3 giant rooms,
Mhm.
massive speakers, and like that's what companies want. They want it, just send it to somebody that has it,
Mhm.
or you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They got
no,
everything in
trust
one
me,
in-house.
I get it.
Yeah,
I
they're
get it.
in-house.
I get it.
Yeah.
They got their person.
Yep. Absolutely.
Which makes sense. And the same thing, that's something we push on artists too, is like you got to find your person as your producer, your person as an engineer. That helps so much, having someone versus like shopping around Fiverr,
Yeah.
like, or just doing everything yourself. But like standing out as a producer,
Yo,
That's the
I
tough
feel really
part.
compelled to say something right now.
do it.
Listen, guys, everybody, listen, we're real close. Jackson is a dope mix engineer. If you don't have an engineer that you're working with on the regular right now, you have to hit up Jackson. And if
He's your
Jackson
guy.
is too busy,
Amen.
hit me up. Like for real.
Thank you.
Like
Yes,
New Space
amen.
got you covered.
We do.
Okay?
Amen. Thank
Like we
you,
really,
friend.
really do. We're really good at what we do. We don't like our clients calling us their hidden gems and their hidden secrets. We don't want to be anybody's hidden secret or hidden gem. Okay? We
I'm
want
trying to step out of that closet.
yeah, straight up.
For real.
Yeah. So yeah, hit us up in the comments. Jeff is going to do a great job of putting our contact information here in the description below. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, just Google us, right?
Yeah, I think
Or follow
it's
us
just
on Instagram.
newspace@gmail.com.
Newspace@gmail.com.
Yeah.
NIW space@gmail.com.
Yeah. But back to important stuff.
Yes.
Like being around you, and especially being in those sessions with like coffee and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
just like people who know inside and out. It's like y'all are so fluent with like instruments and with understanding of things. They'll be like randomly, let's pitch the whole song up. And y'all like re-record it, replay
Dang.
everything. It's just like really
Yeah, like-
pushing me and inspiring me. I'm like, I gotta stop like trying to. I kind of did. Now that I think about it, I kind of did fall into the trap of just like things being so easily
Technical.
accessible
Oh.
and just jumping straight to the front of the line, and taking on all these projects and stuff. I mean, I like my work and stuff, but like seeing the level that you can achieve, and then also thinking about how like when somebody comes in here to produce a song with you, there's times when I said like I try and I'm like on the spot and I can't, like it's just not clicking.
Mm-hmm.
But like obviously you've minimized that possibility significantly.
Right.
But it's just inspired me to like develop skills like infinitely more.
I
For
mean,
real.
my pleasure.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man.
Him and I are the same age gap as me and Kai.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Dad?
Yes, son.
Is it you?
It's me.
You know what we were gonna call this podcast at first?
Yeah.
We'll just say it because we're not gonna end up changing it.
Why not?
It was like
You
yin
want
and
to?
yang or something.
No,
Well,
close.
yeah, that's really close.
You're on the right track.
I know. I remember what he told me what you are gonna call it.
Music in black and white.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
bleep it, but I mean, I'm down to change it, but I'm also like, I like our little cover art. It's colorful, spacey.
Yeah, people have been commenting on that.
I like our name is like kind of weird,
Yeah.
but then if you ask about it, it's like the
New
new is
space.
not if when from your company.
Yeah.
And the space is from mine.
Space
Right.
vibes, yeah.
It's
New
cool. It's got
space.
little
And
substance versus just I'm white, you're black.
Yeah.
That's the
Wait, I mean, if we ever did like a sub series, it could do that.
yeah, that
you
was
know?
that was the original reason.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. When I tested it with a couple of people, they gave me like, no, don't do that. This is before we even started anything.
yeah, but that's cool. That's cool. But essentially, you got any just like words of encouragement for old Jamesy here?
Okay, so the reason why we're going to be trying to encourage James is because, as we mentioned earlier, James has the mindset that, hey, look, music can only be for fun. You can't really make a career out of it. And at New Space, that is blasphemy, right?
Amen.
Amen. I'll tell you. I'll put it to you this way. Anything that you're going to do to be able to earn a significant living, right? Especially if something you're passionate about, it's going to cost you, right? And I feel like people lose track of how much work it really takes to make it happen.
Right.
Because we enjoy music so much, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you can get behind your computer, get your guitar, and in literally 10 minutes, you got something that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can do that, there's this illusion that it's supposed to
Always
work
be
out
like
that way.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Right.
That's not the truth. We spend, an hour, whatever, shooting an episode, but the amount of time that Jeff Jackson and I put in, talking about strategy, talking about, what we're going to do, or, we have friends that will reach out to us like, man, you should do it this way. Like, nah. And then we'll talk. It's a lot.
Yeah.
He has to get up really early in the morning. I got 2 kids. I got to get to school, and then I'm calling Jackson on while I'm dropping them off, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. This right here is the fun part. This is the easy part.
Right.
When you're making the music, that's the easy part.
That's true.
You got to understand that and lock that down.
Right.
And then, like, man, do I have what it takes to do the other side of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Which you do. Obvious, if you're intelligent enough to make the music, which takes intelligence. Like, it's one of the most mentally
it's a
exercising
different type of
things ever.
intelligence, though.
It is, but it is, you can do it. Like, you have no ailment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You know
agree
what
with
I'm
that
saying?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to understand that, okay, it's a whole nother thing.
And it's either you'll delegate that towards your music, which is your passion, or it'll be forced to be delegated somewhere else.
Let me
True.
ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a website for your music?
I mean, Space Map.
No, yours.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess Beats. I have my beats on BeatStars.
Okay. Have you ever done any promotion on your BeatStars?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not. Just like YouTube.
Have you ever gone anywhere for the sole purpose of creating brand awareness for yourself, meaning like people know who you are? Have you ever
Going
done
out.
beat
No.
battles? Have you ever done have you ever performed live anywhere?
Never.
Yeah, so you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
All you've done is create the music,
Yep.
right? It's if I can find an analogy, it's like a police officer that says, they put their handcuffs, they know how to work the handcuffs, but they've never gone out to patrol. Like that was
Like they're
silly.
aware of how their tools work.
Yeah.
But they've
But
never
then
been out.
to
Like,
patrol. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You got to go out. I went to South by Southwest. I paid $900 plus
Damn.
every year for 4 years. I went every single year. I met Garth Brooks. I met the baby. I met all these guys that
You
were
met
like.
Quentin from yesterday.
I met Quentin,
the guy we were with
our
yesterday.
guest yesterday,
Yeah.
who's like doing some crazy stuff now. Like you could literally watch him on Netflix right now,
Yeah, that
like
is
winning a international singing show
Right.
and all that. I met him on stage, like So if you haven't done any of those things, Jackson and I, we started New Space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you haven't done any of the things, then no, you can't adequately say that it's not doable,
Right.
that it's not possible. And just based off of this conversation, I'm going to get your number today, iPhone 13 or not, and I'm going to keep tabs with you, and we're going to find out like what are some low hanging fruit things that you can do to promote yourself.
Yeah.
Even if the worst case situation is like, hey, he told me you have a library of songs. Jeff was the one that was saying it, that you were looking for a particular song, and in your song you had to go like, woo, like scroll through a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Bro,
Too many.
you take all of those, you curate the best 100 to 200 that you have, and you start submitting them to libraries,
Yeah.
to sync libraries, because I'm pretty sure you haven't done that.
No.
You know, so
Or
I've
maybe
submitted some of his songs.
Yeah, he's done it.
he has, you haven't.
I'm the one who put his stuff online on my website.
Nah, man,
Stuff like that.
and see, and that's the reason why Jackson is who he is, and you know, like first time I'm ever saying that, I told my wife that Jackson's gonna make it, like straight
That's
up.
how I've thought about it too.
Because, bro, when I was your age, I wasn't doing a quarter of what you're doing right now.
I
You know what I'm saying?
appreciate it, Yeah.
So look, dude, hey man, look, when this episode goes up and you forget what I said, you go back and watch it. You know what I mean?
Bet.
And if you do half of the
Yeah.
things that I asked you about, if those no's can turn to yeses, I promise you it's not gonna be like this.
yeah.
That's one of the things I had, like, my sister tell me, like, you need to be going out to like deep out, and they're always having like beat
Yeah.
things, and I'm just like, there's like the introvert side of me kicks in. I'm like, I'd just rather stay at home.
We talked
that's
about
why
that on our
there's
second
us.
episode.
Yeah, that's why it would be fun if it was us. It's like
Right.
walking up to girls, dude. It's scary when you're alone with your friends. It's like, I'll go, and you're like, all right.
That's
And then
true.
you do it and you talk about it and it's fun.
Yeah.
Like we could go do that together and it be a thing where it's a good, wholesome time. You get to enjoy it and you're
Right.
making serious progress.
yeah,
Mhm.
making serious moves.
But meeting people in person is so much more.
It's
It's
big,
so much
bro.
easier and more
Yeah.
beneficial. Oh, it's crazy.
Look how we met. We met
yeah,
on
no, that's
Instagram.
crazy.
He slid into my
Yeah.
DM.
I did.
What'd you
You know
say?
what? This is what's crazy. Is so
Need me to mix your song?
no, no, I should though. No, but when we made that the free guitar samples,
Yeah.
I just randomly saw him on Instagram, sent it to him.
Oh.
Like, yo, here's 30 free guitar samples. I was trying to
Yeah.
get your email, by the way, to put it in my list. That was the whole
Just
plan.
You didn't get it.
I
though.
know I didn't get it. I would have seen. I dropped.
We have one together now, but that's okay.
yeah. But no, and I was like, hey, whoa, you're in Dallas. I see that. What's up, Dallas? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then this dude.
I remember when it all happened. I mean, you were telling me, you're like, dude, I just met this guy. Look at his studio. I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
That's how I would judge someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, based
You
on.
guys see? Is that okay?
Nah.
No, it's because that's such an easy way to tell if someone's serious.
That's true.
Is what does their studio look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah.
But it's super cool.
But
Good
just
time.
because you don't have a, whatever studio doesn't mean you're not serious. It's
Right.
it's just
no,
It's just
absolutely.
one little way.
It's a symptom.
not the
It's a
only way.
symptom that you're serious about what you do.
Yeah.
It's
Some
just-
people have
it's
headaches when
one-
they have the flu. Some people don't have headaches when they
Yeah,
have the flu.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, I guess one of my major issues, I feel like, is not actually starting. Like, I'll be in my head that, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always thinking, like, let me think about it,
Mhm.
instead of taking action. And I feel like that's what's really holding me back.
Bro,
I'm
the
just
literal
thinking about
reason
it.
why you're here is because we didn't think about it.
True.
We
Just
said
did it.
we should do this.
Yeah.
And literally 14 days later we were here.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, which
Ordering
bike
the
should I buy?
mics,
Yeah,
yeah.
like orders like $900.
I mean,
worth
he's
of stuff.
kept me updated on everything.
No, yeah, I've been updating him this entire
Yeah.
time, and yeah, exactly. It's just
That's
like
it.
we knew we were gonna start and not stop.
Right.
We each had enough desire to be somewhat consistent.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to just maintain my YouTube channel, but it's like there's Thursdays where I really don't feel like recording,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna get up and show up and
Yeah.
record.
And I'm like, dang, Jeff and Jackson are coming. Dang it, I gotta get to it.
And it's like
But
I
that's
know
what
I gotta
really
drag all these
matters.
bad. We like bring freaking
So community,
luggage of stuff.
Did we add that? Did we talk about that when we were talking about,
I don't think we did.
no, community's big, bro.
Yeah,
'Cause
Right.
This is community right here.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, it's infectious, and it's just like when someone else, like you were running the ad
Yeah.
on New Space, and I was feeling down about like I was just kind of like, I'm kind of not
Mhm.
feeling like I'm doing much in the world. And then I check and like, oh, Ife's picking up. He's pulling the
Doing
boat right
something,
now. When I
yeah.
was over there sleeping, like that kind of stuff is so
Yeah.
encouraging, and it got me. I was like, let me get
Yeah.
up and I'm gonna do something because
Yeah.
I want. It's just fun that way. It's like, how many people do you need to have a community? 3.
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
God is the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Boom.
Oh,
You
damn.
said it.
Yeah.
Bring it all back.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Back
what we did
home.
with the Diddy episode.
Yeah, man.
Y'all had a Diddy episode?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
like showed. He had this like.
I was
what was
dressed
that
like
thing
Diddy,
called?
too.
Yeah, he dressed
It was
up
like
like.
early Halloween or something.
It turned
Bro,
into like a
what?
full blown.
Are y'all
Yeah,
gonna do
we
a
had
Halloween
church.
episode?
We had church in here. We should do it.
Let me come
Yeah,
in.
that
I'll
would be
wear my
fun.
Grinch onesie.
Oh yeah. No, we had
Let's
church.
do it.
Church. The Holy Spirit came out.
Holy
Yeah,
Spirit,
straight
why'd
up.
you say it like
Good.
that?
No, for real. For real.
No,
I
yeah,
believe
it
you,
turned into
straight up.
straight just a Christian podcast because
That's good.
the whole thing turned into like
Wait, the Diddy one?
because
Yes.
the whole point was like the last one we expected, but it like
Yeah.
all I could think, all I was inspired to say was, he was as rich and famous as you could possibly dream to be. He had
Yep.
everything,
You
Mhm.
but
did.
it wasn't enough.
Enough.
So what did he
Yeah.
do?
Indulged in.
Indulge.
What was he like?
he
the
was searching
crazy-
for. He was searching for pleasure that
He's
he.
like, maybe tonight will be the night I'll feel finally I
Right.
made it.
He was trying to. He was trying to fill his God-sized hole with other things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say what they were. I didn't even like. I knew his face. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know he existed, and then it comes out he's having all these parties.
This is what another
Why was I
excuse,
not invited?
another interesting kind of like little excuse he makes. You,
Me?
yeah,
Excuses?
excuse.
I'm
No,
not
but
that guy.
something that he thinks that he's gonna end up just making trap beats 24/7.
I
and
do
that's
kinda
it.
think that-
Why?
Okay, here's my thought. Here's what I explained to him. I'm like, oh, I don't just want to be like, I don't know actually.
Some rapper's tool
Yeah.
that you just
making
make
rap-
trap
Okay,
beats
well, actually,
24/7.
a lot of rap music. I'm not a fan of like all the new age rap, like Yeet and all that stuff. It really
Mhm.
bothers me. It really turned me off to the genre. I mean, I like old school hip hop, but like all the new stuff just really turned me off of hip hop. And then that's how I got into making music, making rap beats
Yeah,
and EDM
Then
beats.
make what
and
you
then-
like, bro.
Well, yeah, that's what I have.
you'll
been doing, but
attract
it's like
the people that want it
that's true.
by making and putting it.
I guess
out.
I've just been struggling like I want to be in a band, like I want to do all these things. I think I'm wanting to do too much, and that's why I end up not taking action on one thing.
He's about to go to college for what?
electrical engineering.
Oh,
Well, I was
Okay,
thinking,
my
that
wife's
actually-
an electrical engineer.
well, you were talking about like the speakers. I'm like, they were engineers. They had to engineer the speaker,
Yeah.
and I was like, I could like put that into
Want to
my
hear a
music.
funny story? So, when I first got my U87, I had an LA 610 Mark II preamp, and I was reading the manual, about the correct impedance to use with the microphone based on like the ratings of the mic, and there's like a very simple math thing you can do to figure out which one was better, right?
Yeah,
And my wife walks in and she sees me, doing like some math or whatever real quick. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to figure out the right impedance for the mic." She screams like, "Ah!" Oh my gosh, she couldn't believe what was going on. I'm like, "Why?" She said because she went to University of Binghamton
Mhm.
in upstate New York,
yeah.
and she was in a class. A professor brings in a guitar and an amp and some headphones and a bunch of stuff, and was trying to use music to explain in an electrical engineering class
Yeah,
about impedance and ohms and Ohm's law and all those kind of things, right? And she was like, "Who was ever going to use this?" She said she remembers specifically
Wow.
saying
Thinking
that to
that.
herself.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Fast forward a couple years, she's married to a dude who was doing it
Using
under
the-
her nose.
Yeah, that's
That's
Like
awesome.
trying to figure out
funny.
the impedance of a U87 going
Well,
into a
that's-
LA 610.
That's where all music well, I mean, I guess acoustic guitars aren't like
So do
using
you really
electrical
think? So how
signals,
long would
but
you be in school for if you
2
did that?
years.
2 years of dedicated like performance
I know where you go.
towards like
yeah,
I know where
towards
you
like a
go with
very
this.
specific thing. Why? Because you love music, which is like a very
Yeah.
niche lane going off of this.
Electrical
huge-
engineering.
Bro, you're gonna be crunching numbers with algebraic equations.
calculus.
Come on,
if you put in a quarter the effort
dude. Of
Right.
that,
it takes to get A's on that.
B's in that class. If you pass
Yes.
that, dude. Wait, do you have to get like A's to graduate, or you just gotta
No,
pass?
no. I'm Nigerian.
pass.
We just do A's. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go find out. Go ask somebody.
Hmm.
Like, like when my son gets B's, I'm like, "What is this? Get this out of my front.
What is this?
What is this?" Oh
Hey.
man,
Can you make me some jollof?
heck yeah!
I
What
want
is
to try
that?
your jollof.
I got you.
All right.
Man, that's the best thing I've heard today. I got you, boy.
Let's go.
I got you,
What
boy.
that is has been.
Huh?
What that is had been.
You didn't ask about it. You didn't ask for it.
Good.
When did you have
I'm
jollof?
asking-
Like, tell me about
So
that
I grew
experience.
up. My friend was Nigerian. I grew up with him. And
Okay.
we roomed in college.
Oh, nice.
And his mom would make us
Reggie?
giant things of jollof.
He's also
Wow.
a
And
music
we'd be
producer.
stocked up, and I'd just be. She get beef and chicken. Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was so
Let's
good.
go.
Hot
It literally-
You know what? Yeah. So there's a bunch of really good Nigerian restaurants around. Next time we get together, I'll take you
Let's
guys.
go.
Treat you guys to some
I
Nigerian.
love
Yeah.
all types of food.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Ethiopian is really
I
good.
tried it.
Does Nigerian? What's it called? It's called that
It looks
dough.
like a pancake
Fufu.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Starts with a J
yeah.
or something.
So there are different ones. There's pounded yam. There's fufu. There's eba. There's what else?
I forgot what the one somebody told me at my work.
Yeah. There's. I
Something
mean,
about-
yeah.
It's like the sour, like you pick up the curry and
No,
Yeah.
that sounds like Ethiopian,
yeah.
East African.
It's like kind of like dough, and you grab the dough
Mm.
in your hand, and then you got a big plate of whatever
Mhm.
meat and curry and
Okay, maybe
Good.
you calling it curry is throwing me off because in Nigeria we don't do a lot of curry per
okay.
se, but there's a lot of tomato based
yeah.
sauces and soups
Okay.
that go with the stuff like that.
right.
But yeah, don't worry about it. We gonna do it.
Yeah, we'll
I
try it
tried
out.
cow intestine.
How's that?
Horrible.
Someone
I
told me.
don't like it either. I don't.
No,
I mean, I would
she
never
cooked
eat that.
for an hour and 37
Someone
minutes.
told. Have y'all had cow tongue?
Oh
Yeah.
heck no.
I was told that it's really
I was
good
just
if
talking
you
about-
don't know what you're eating.
I was just talking about that last night. I was like, so
It's
yeah,
like kissing a cow.
who's
That's
tasting
gross.
who's tasting who? Or does it cancel out because they're both tasting mechanisms, so they taste nothing?
Well, one's dead and doesn't have a brain
True.
connected to it.
That's a valid point.
It's just a piece of meat.
That's valid.
the
All right, it's
donk
been a New
shit.
Space Podcast. I'm Ife.
I'm Jackson.
My name is James.
Yes. And we're out.
Amen. Pactua.